Okay, everyone, this week, the better part of your time is probably going to be spent creating a sketch for project one. Okay, unlike the exercise that we did the past 2 weeks where we used rough sketches and practice with a Wacom, doing what we call digital inking and creating color flats, this is going to be the start of a larger multi-week project. Okay, so what I did was I created a larger drawing, 11 by 17. That's the size that I work at. And what I have to do, though, is because I have a smaller scanner, just like the ones that we have at MID, and that's why I'm showing this, my smaller scanner will only take sizes up to 9 by 12. Okay, so if I have something 11 by 17, I have to piece it together. Now, first, let me show you the way that we used to do this, so you'll understand the convenience of photomerging. The way we used to do it is like this: we would go up to File and create New, and in this case, I would click on Print, and I would go with Tabloid, which is 11 by 17. That's the size that I do. And then what I would do, though, is I would switch it to grayscale because I'm going to be working on a pencil drawing, and I would also put it on landscape orientation rather than portrait. Okay, the rest of this is pretty well set. It's 300 DPI, and it's just fine like it is. So you create that, and there's your basic template. Then what you'd have to do is you'd have to open up the bits that you scanned. In this case, it would be these three right here. Okay, and then you would simply do a select all, copy, then go back to your template, say paste, move that there. Let's see, two, select all, copy, and then paste, and try to line them up. And then for the last one, you do the same thing again, select all, edit, copy, and then you would paste. Okay, and then what you'd have to do is adjust your opacity. Okay, so say let's start with layer 2 here. We'll take the opacity down so you can see through it. And then you'd have to adjust these until you got them exactly lined up. Put that back up, and then do the same thing with the next one. And adjust it back and forth until it's about lined up. And then basically you would flatten this out and try and get rid of these gray edges. Okay, it's a fairly cumbersome way of going about it, and kind of a pain. So let me show you a different way of doing this that you might not be aware of. Okay, so instead of creating a template first, what we're going to do is simply go up to File, and then down to Automate. Okay, and then down at the end of this little menu that comes up, there is Photomerge. Okay, so click on that. All right, and then you'll see it comes up with layout. You got auto, perspective, cylindrical, spherical, collage, reposition. You can just leave it on auto for what we're using it for, and then you can click on Files or Folder. I just go to Files and then click on Browse, and that allows you to select your artwork. So we got one. I'm going to hold down my Shift key so I can grab all three of those at once. Okay, and then they show up in our selections here. Now, some weird kind of thing about this is you need to select all three of them. So I'm going to hold down my Shift key again, make sure they're all selected, and then all you do is click on OK. Now what it's going to do, it's going to scroll through these automatically and look for where they will join together. And see, it automatically blended these together, and it also got rid of those dark edges okay, that you'd otherwise have to use a dodge and burn tool for. So they're all blended together. Now notice this too, though, that they are, if you go over to your layers palette, where they're linked together at. So they're still in layers, okay? They're linked together, but they're still separate layers. Now, what I usually do, just to make things a little bit easier, is I will first do a image rotation, which in this case would be 90 degrees counterclockwise. It controls 0, so the whole thing gets on there. And rather than just flatten this out, um, the reason rather than just flatten this out, is that you notice there's a little bit of an extra edge here. Okay, that's because when a photo merges and stuff, it will make the entire document as wide as the widest point of these. And when you're scanning on a flatbed scanner and moving something along, sometimes things will be a little bit off here and there. Okay, so what I do is I will just create a new template. Again, just go with, in this case, print tabloid 11 by 17 grayscale, like so. Go back to this, and what you want to do is select all, and then go to Edit, Copy Merged. Okay, now all of these, everything you see here, all of these layers have been copied onto my clipboard as one piece of artwork. And then I can just go here to my new template I've created and, sorry, let's go to paste. Okay, and now that artwork is on one layer. So I'm going to rename this pencils. Okay, there. So that's done. And now I'm ready to go in and start making this into a painting. Of course, you want to save it first. So do save as. And in this case, we'll call this it's going to be 3. There we go. Okay. And now it's all merged together, saved, and ready to go. All right. Easy stuff.